Good evening and welcome to the SPARC meeting, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Welcome, everyone. Let the record show that the regular SPARC meeting is now called to order. Or would the clerk please call the roll?
Absolutely. Chair Velasco.
Here.
Committee Member Castle.
Here.
Committee Member Harani.
Here.
Committee Member Markow.
Here.
Committee Member Pishney.
Here.
Committee Member Price.
Here.
And Committee Member Renna.
Here.
We do have a quorum with 7 members present.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Item number 2, let's approve the minutes, the regular minutes from March 4th. Has everybody had a chance to look at them? If not, you can take a peek at them right now.
I motion to approve.
Okay,
Second.
we got a second. Let's call for a vote there, Mr. Clerk.
Chair Velasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Castle.
Aye.
Committee Member Harani.
Aye.
Committee Member Markow.
Aye.
Committee Member Pishney.
Aye.
Committee Member Price.
Aye.
And Committee Member Renna. That motion carries unanimously with committee members present.
Excellent. Let's move on to number 3. Election of officers. Mr. Clerk.
Yes, per the SPARC bylaws, every April, the committee is supposed to vote on chair and vice chair and secretary for the committee. To step in really quick, I at the clerk's office did receive a request from Cindy Carlton, who's the current vice chair. She is at her last meeting class that she's doing right now for a Mission Trails guide thing that she's doing. And she requested that I pass along that her request from her to table this vote until the May meeting. I told her that it would be up to the committee if they wanted to entertain that or go forward with elections as normal.
I would like to entertain her request since she's our vice chair, and I would like to motion that this is tabled until our next meeting.
Second.
All right, with a motion and a second, we'll do the roll call vote. Chair Velasco.
Aye.
Committee Member Castle.
Aye.
Committee Member Harani.
Aye.
Committee Member Markow.
Aye.
Committee Member Pishney.
Aye.
Committee Member Price.
Aye.
And Committee Member Renna. Aye. That carries unanimously with commissioners present.
Excellent. Let's move on to Community Services Department update. We have Ann here battling through a weird cold.
A weird something.
Yes.
Our director is ill today as well, so I'm filling in for him. I'm the recreation manager. And I guess I'm going to show a few videos, tell you what the recreation division has been doing since the last time we met. So the first video.
so much for coming to Fido Fest. We hope you had a awesome time. Thank you to our sponsors, and we hope to see you again next year.
Awesome. So if you weren't there, that's what we did at Fido Fest in February. Had a good time, well attended, very hot day. But moving on. We just hosted our Bunny Trail event this past weekend on Saturday. We had about 2,000 participants at Town Center Park East. We moved that there from Trolley Square. And we had a lot of participation. It was a hot day again. And we offered some cooling stations to the public, so places for people to sit, get a cool towel, get a cool drink. We also kicked off our Stars, Stripes, and Sights egg hunt, which I'll go into a little bit about what that is in a bit. We do have upcoming things you should mark your calendar for. Movie in the Park is going to be Friday, June 5th. The movie will be The Sandlot. It's a classic. So you're killing me, Smalls, right? Summer concerts start Thursday, June 11th, coming up here quickly. And wanted to let you know that I anticipate that first concert to be a very special concert, as it will also be one of the activities we have in our Stars, Stripes, and Sights webpage. So everybody was looking at this guy. This is Sammy, after Uncle Sam. Get it? Sammy? Sammy's gender neutral, eagle. And if you take a look at your flyer here, there's also a sticker. Santee is celebrating our 250th celebration of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. There is a QR code here, and it'll lead you to our webpage, which leads you to more and more activities, including some information about challenge coins that will be for sale regarding the 250th, activities you can participate in and look for Sammy around town and enter some opportunity drawings. Also some community interactive type of fence arts will be coming up, and we kicked it off at the egg hunt, and the little kids found some eggs that had a sign to find to be able to enter into our Stars, Stripes, and Sights activities. So check out the website. Lots of activities hooked to that, and as I said, the first concert might have something special in the sky. That's all I'm going to say right now. We'll give you more information later. Something we haven't had in the sky, and it's not an eagle. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that lots of things are happening around the 250th. In fact, we received a $45,000 grant from Councilmember Joel Anderson's. We're actually filing up all the details on that, and it will go towards our celebration for the semi-quincentennial. Next video is there's an upcoming golf tournament. So that you have a flyer on that as well, the Heroes Golf Classic Tournament in the end of May, and you're welcome to join in and register you and your friends to participate. Wanted to let you know that we are currently taking registration for summer day camps and our Santee camp and our junior leaders right now. It is open on our website, santeerec.com. There's a senior calendar here for you to review. We have trips, we have a luncheon coming up, and also wanted to let you know that May 27th, as we mentioned last month, the Total Altruistic Project State Award will be received at the state conference, and we will be presenting it at the May 27th City Council meeting. We also have a work group called Santee Work Group for Arts and Culture. We did have a meeting today. If you're interested, we have another meeting in June. We're looking at anybody who's interested in arts and culture. June 3rd is our next meeting. You can reach out to the rec department and we'll tell you more about that. And we're doing some community outreach actually regarding interest in the art piece that will be included in the new community center. We do have funding allocated for that, and we're looking to see what the community would like to see at the community center. Also want to let you know, Town Center Park Fields 1 and 2 are in a fenced closure right now to the beginning of June, so hopefully we're going to be growing some grass and making it nice and perfect for the summer. And I only have one last video, and then I'm going to turn it over to Trey. So Trey is here to represent the Public Services Division, and he's going to give you an update on parks, et cetera.
I'm going to go a little bit over turf and grass and just kind of give an overview of what we're doing for all the grass and turf areas in the parks. Right now, we're aerating, fertilizing, and applying gypsum 4 times per year, so just every season. And we kind of developed that maintenance schedule and location-specific gypsum from a soil sample. And that kind of gave us the information of what specifics we need for each location at each park and the different types of grass. We've also been upgrading a lot of our irrigation controllers to CalSense 3000s. Some of the parks already had them, like Mast and Weston, some of the newer parks had those newer controllers, but we're getting them at some of the older parks. Big Rock was the most recent one to get a CalSense 3000. And basically, what makes those so useful is you can use your phone. You can go out to a park. The maintenance worker can go out. They have their phone. You can turn stuff on. You have every station. You can turn all of them off. You can turn them all on. And it makes it really easy for doing audits. So it's easier to find breaks. You go out to the park and you just turn everything on and everything's working. You see something over there that's broken or shooting water straight up in the air. It's super easy to identify. It'll send notifications to the irrigation specialist, when there's, excessive water being used, indicating that a head is probably broken. So that has been really helpful to have at parks that previously didn't have them, because previously with the 2000s, you had to go into usually the storage room and manually hit the buttons and turn each station on, and it wasn't super efficient. So having those upgraded has been a huge help for maintaining the grass and the soil. We also have been upgrading some rotors, like at Town Center East. We have new I-40 rotors, which are super accurate. These work faster, better water efficiency, really good for those large areas. We also got them at Shadow Hill now. And also the parks are now in-house. That started, we're coming up on a year now, I guess in July. But each park, or there's a maintenance worker for each park. Some maintenance workers have 1 park, some have 2. And so they're there in the parks basically every day. And so it's easier for them to keep an eye on the turf and on the irrigation. And we all have the CalSense login on our phone, so we can just check, and turn stuff on. And so there's a little more hands-on approach, a little more detailed approach with the in-house parks.
Great. I have a question. I don't know if anybody else. Do we have all of our in-house staff filled now? Are all of our parks, we're 100%?
Yes.
Okay.
For the supervisor position, because
Yeah. But everything else, yes, filled.
Okay. So I just wanted to say it out loud once. I had a few folks, one of them a prominent folk in town at one of the events I did this week, made some comments about Woodland Vista and how it is looking shabby, in his words. I haven't been there. I did a tour of a few of our other parks, but I want to know, I know we were coming out of a contract with some folks that didn't really keep up with stuff as much as we'd like, and now we have our in-house folks. But what do you think the turnaround time is to get our parks in tip-top shape and then keep them there?
So I think we're closing in on a lot of deferred maintenance when we had just the blow and mow guys kind of let a lot of areas not be attended to. So I know that they've been diligently working on getting all aspects of all parks. I don't know an exact timeline, and I know that Eric will be here next week and probably could answer, or next month, could probably answer a little bit better. But I do know that there's a gentleman who is assigned there, and he's a very diligent worker.
Yes, correct. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that, that was being caught up on, like just stuff that was from the contract that, is stuff maybe you don't see like to the public eye. That's, irrigation that's in the back that you don't know about, that, not everyone sees, and getting that stuff caught up. But yeah, definitely I feel like we are making progress. I know it's not perfect yet, but.
Which park are you?
West Hills and Weston.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you're up there. Yeah, I did a tour around Mass Park West and Town Center. And Town Center is kind of our jewel, so I know there's a lot of effort always put on that. But the day I was out there, I saw multiple guys out there trying to whack down some of the weeds because with the recent rains we had and all that, we had a lot of overgrowth because Mass has a lot of spaces that aren't necessarily the main spots that we walk and play on, but the disc golf course that's very, very well utilized had some, and with some other recent wind events, we also had a lot of downed tree branches and such. So it was good to see them working on mast, and they were hot and heavy in it with the weed whackers. So okay, I just wanted to bring up the Woodland Vista since I saw them at the meeting at the event I was right before this one. So cool. Any other questions for? Okay.
I do have one.
Yes.
Like I have landscapers, and sometimes there's specialty things that I have to use other people for, like tree trimming and stuff. Is that what the city does? Like if we have so many trees that need to be trimmed, and we just have so many of you guys, do you ever farm out for specialty work?
Trees are kind of different because we have an urban forestry contract with West Coast Arborists. And so kind of for like the bigger, more advanced stuff where you need like, a really skilled tree trimmer that can get up in a bucket truck or get up in a tree, we'll use West Coast. But for smaller stuff that you can get with like a pull saw, or you can just use a hand saw to get, the in-house team can handle that. But for like the bigger stuff, like we recently had a big tree at West Hills that needed removed that, we don't have the equipment or specialty to do that. So West Coast, we have a contract with them. And so for some of the bigger stuff, big advanced project with trees, West Coast will do.
Who handles Mission Gorge, the west side of Mission Gorge? Because, by the 52 freeway in Mission Gorge, it's just weeds galore, up to 4 or 5 feet of weeds. So who handles that? Does the city handle that?
So depending on where the 52 and the 125 kind of merge,
That's county
County,
property.
yeah.
A lot of that spot over by your area, your neck of the woods,
Yeah.
it's San Diego County. San Diego City, I mean.
So that just goes,
entrance to, are you speaking about like entrance to the freeway? And
the
at the
entrance,
end?
the off-ramp to Mission Gorge in 52, the off-ramp.
Right.
That area where the
Yeah,
hotel
that's-
went up, it's 3-4 feet of weeds.
It
Yeah.
might be Caltrans
handles
potentially.
those?
Yeah, it's Caltrans.
It's Caltrans.
Yeah.
And over in your neck of the woods where you live, because I just did a whole site survey of the APNs over all the properties, there's Caltrans, there's county, city, and Santee's very little. Santee's on the walkway side of Mission Gorge. But anything on that side, anything on the freeway side, that's some other agencies. Because we had to reach out to them and tell them to whack down the horse property right across the street from the Mexican joint. They wanted their, and that was the, I don't know if that was the county or the city, but anyways, they came out and took care of that, so.
Okay.
If you have specifics, like exact location or a diagram, you can always send it to our staff and we'll be able to identify whose property that is.
You get on the 52 on
Oh.
Mission Gorge, if you look, there's 3-4 feet of weeds everywhere.
So,
It's weedy.
And there are numbers for every one of those agencies to say, hey, that's ugly. And they'll send, it'll get moved closer to the top of the list. Is that, yes, Miss Stephanie?
I have questions about the ASA fields. Do we maintain those?
USA
What
girls
are
softball,
the
just so you know,
softball clubs?
at Town Center West.
Do you maintain those?
We maintain the grass portion, but the infields are maintained by the
Players.
the agency, the organization, the PISO group.
Okay, so I have a question about, are there rules or no rules for the, God, going blank, the bicycles and the scooters?
Yeah, there are municipal codes regarding, electric bikes, et cetera, and primarily we've been approached by the board. They're welcome to put up signage. We do not have particular electric bike rules within the park at this point. They are now, the sheriff's department is working on specifying if the legalities of ages and restrictions on certain types of bikes. But whenever there's a large crowd gathering, like we do with we just say there's no bicycles in parks. When there's a large, yes, no wheels, walking your wheels. We require walking your
Okay, 'cause
wheels.
I was down-
We're not there to monitor it, so the agency or organization would have to monitor
So
it.
it's basically the directors down at the field that are,
Yeah.
should be watching out for that.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
Yeah, we've been approached. We told them that they're allowed to post signage. We don't have a specific Muni code for that, but as there is any kind of hazard in a park, especially during a specific activity, then they would, can say no wheels allowed during these activities.
I didn't want to be that person, but I.
Yes, the
talked to-
kids on the e-bikes this last couple of weeks have been insane in Santee.
Well, the parents are down there too, so
Yeah, I
it's
know.
like,
It's always a call to our sheriffs. They are very responsive
if it's a
and
sheriff, then.
and let them know that they're causing a muck in your softball game. Any other questions for staff?
I
What do you
wanted
think?
to convey my appreciation for the added investment and the attention to Town Center Park, the soccer fields 1 and 2. Eric did send me an email outlining all the things that you guys are doing. As a longtime referee for Santee ASO, I'm looking forward to the improvements that we may see this upcoming season. The field conditions weren't always the best, and there was actually a time a few years ago where we had to cancel matches where teams were coming in from out of town, and the out-of-town teams loved to play there, the parents loved to play there, but we lost that tournament, and so hopefully the added attention and investment can bring that tournament back, as well as improve the playing conditions for our local kids.
Yeah, and I had a meeting offline with staff on because every year we close down Town Center, the grass fields, to do some maintenance. And this year there's going to be some sod and there's going to be some major repairs because that's our flag, not just for our youth sports. That's our flagship park for all of our events. So we're getting ready for the summer concert seasons and the busy AYSO seasons. They're going to put a little effort into that park and for our 250. I mean, our 250 is coming up, and that's the park. So we should see some magic happening in the next few months.
And it's good to see because the things that we were doing in the past, right, weren't showing any improvement. And so it's good that that was recognized and that we're changing and adding investment
Yeah,
to it.
very cool. Anyone else have any? Okay, thanks, Trey.
Thank you.
Okay, community updates, reports, general announcements. I will start. Actually, I'll go around and see if anybody has anything to say. I want to bring up one topic. Anyone have any general announcements? Thoughts, concerns? Yes, Ms. Maricol, you look like you have.
Yes, I went to the bunny hop, and it was really nice that we had some spots to sit under the canopies with water, which was really nice. The 6-inch fan was different. We need bigger, but, bigger is better on those kind of things. And I really, a lot of people utilize those cool spots, except for our canopy felt hot underneath it, and I don't think that was one of those UV canopies. I think it was just regular, because I was cooking under the canopy. And I shouldn't be cooking. I'm old. So are the other people that were there.
Usual hot couple of months, except for today and yesterday. Anyone else have any general announcements, thoughts, concerns? Okay. I wanted to bring up something. I had asked staff to put this on the agenda for next month. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit tonight, just to give you a general overview. And then next week, I'll come with a little bit more information, and we could speak more in detail. But I would like to put something on the agenda to talk about the upcoming Renaissance Fair we're doing in Santee, with in collaboration with the Kiwanis and some other folks. It's a very ambitious project and in a short time frame, but I would like us as a committee to support it, and that's going to be my goal. I want to talk to you more about it. I'd like us to support it and bring that to the council, saying that the Santee Parks and Rec Committee twice a year, and it's a huge profit center for both the local economy and the event, and we have an opportunity to have something like that down here. Recently, one of the events, basically Renaissance fairs are, for lack of a better descriptive term, a cosplay event. People like to go dress up as medieval, times folks. And one of the large events closed up in Corona or Irvine or somewhere up there. And so they're in need. They want another spot. We have a unique location here at the barn property. That's county property. And a couple years ago, I was part of the original Renaissance that we did there. And it was the first one, brand new, and it was okay attended. It wasn't as well attended as we'd like for it to be. But we have an opportunity there for the next several years until everybody stops fighting over the property to build low-income housing or whatever they're going to do there, to have a cool event in Santee and to have the entire community support it and come out and be a part of it. So that's my goal. On the next one, we're going to have an agenda item, and I'll bring some show and tell and stuff and talk about the plans of what it's going to be. But it's going to be a great event for our city, and there's a potential to have 6,000 people come through. It's happening this year on June 5th, 6th, and 7th. June, like 2 months from now. Yeah. So right now we're looking to get this council to support the event and to provide some city resources for final cleanup. The last time we did it, it was a lot of work by a couple volunteers and a tractor with a weed whacker on it, or I don't know what they call it. But anyways, it was a lot of work to clean up the property, but the county is 100% on board. They've given the license or the permit to use the space, and it could be a potentially great event. And if we can grow it, and I think it'll be a really good collaboration between a lot of our local folks. So I'll talk more about it. I'll bring some show and tell and some pictures. And but it's going to be happening either way, but I'd like for us to support it, and I'd like for you guys to ask any questions you have about it. And then we can go to the council and say, hey, we support this as a committee, the city being involved, because it's going to take some resources. There's going to be some of the Community Services Department, Eric's folks, and, cleaning up some of the concrete. There's a lot of stuff. And if you're not familiar with the property, we all see the barn, but the entire property there from barn all the way to, the old Edgemar property, there's a lot of concrete there. There's a lot of driveway space. There's a lot of grass, and there's a lot of cool trees. And some of it is, I won't say in disrepair, but it's not upkept that well. They go out there and cut the weeds down twice a year, but some of the driveways and space could be swept off and blown off and that kind of stuff. And that's what we're looking for, the city support on getting some manpower out there for a couple days to help clean up the space and make it an awesome event. So I will be bringing that back at the next meeting. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question about that. Now, this Renaissance is 24-hour, isn't it? Overnight?
It's going to be 3 days overnight. So as it sits right now, it's going to be it's billed as like an after hours behind the scenes party on Friday night. So it's going to be an adult themed party where all of the folks that come and bring their kingdoms and stuff. There's going to be, beer, music, and a dance party on Friday night. Saturday and Sunday are family days, and we have kids' activities where they get a little passport book, and they can go around to each one of the kingdoms or whatever they call it. And I'm sorry, I'm not all up on the verbiage for them, but and the kids can go and do a little archery thing or a little ball throw thing, and they can get a stamp. So it's very, very cool event. And if you've never been to the Renaissance Fair, the one in Escondido is coming up soon. Definitely encourage it. It's a lot of fun, and everybody's in period correct costumes, and it's kind of like just a whole scene. It's a whole thing. So it's going to be Friday and then Saturday and Sunday all day for the kiddos.
Then
and
tear
families.
down Sunday or Monday? And also, what about those, do you know there's underground tunnels?
We
all
do.
over that
I had to
property?
cover them personally with big
Yeah.
pieces of boards last year or 2 years ago.
You don't want someone falling in one of those.
I know. Yeah, we identified there's 3 under. I guess when the old county facilities were there, there's pathways underneath the facilities from one to another for different air ventilation and stuff like that. So we identified the 3 locations that have, and they're actually covered right now. Still from when we were there, we covered them. But besides from that, it's just it needs weed whack and the sidewalks to be blown off and a couple of trees to be trimmed. So
Yeah, it would be a great location, but the last time they had a thing there, it was just for one day.
yeah, and that's why we didn't get a lot of.
Too much for those people. I go to the ferry,
Yeah.
the ferry one up in LA, the original, and I went up there twice now, scoping that out.
Was it the Irwindale? Is that what you're talking about?
The ferry, it's original Renaissance, and
So-
it goes for 30 days, just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
It's open 30 days, and they shut down at 5:30, but it's like a tribe of people that live there. So is there going to be like a tribe living at the barn?
There will be, every one of the kingdoms will be there from Friday. They're going to load in the daytime, like at noon, and they'll be there Friday, Saturday, and pack up Sunday. So,
It's a lot for just 3 days.
well, it's a lot for one day, I can tell you that. That's why it was too hard last time. So,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get traction. Hopefully it'll be a successful event so we can bring it back. But
And it was too hot.
it was.
It was horrible.
Of course, you always complain about being hot.
Well, yeah.
So,
We need cool zones, actually.
Yeah, cool zones. It's called
Approach the city
trees.
For that.
The
Cool
trees.
zones.
There's a lot more trees there than there is at Town Center East.
Correct.
They're little dying, half-dead trees. There's nothing shady.
Okay, we'll put up some shade structures for you. By the way, I had a shade structure at my place that you hung out at, so I don't. You were there with. Yeah, I have a shade structure. Anyways, so I'm going to bring that up next week. Non-agenda public comment.
Yes, we do have one speaker, Carl
Okay.
Constantino.
We appreciate you.
Yes, you're appreciated.
Thanks. I might not be afterwards. Real quick, though, we do something very similar twice a year. It's a Mountain Man fur trade era thing, and it's out by Lake Marina, and we're out there a week. And we do a lot more fun stuff, like shooting and tomahawk throwing and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's called Laguna Mountain Rendezvous. All right, so anyway, but I need to vent some frustration here. I'd like to understand how the city of Santee can spend $500,000 to renovate Shadow Hill Park and yet can't seem to correct a long-standing graffiti at the walkway entrance to the park. This is the first thing anybody that walks to the park sees, and it's been there for over 4 months now. I've been contacting you all about the graffiti since actually before the renovation. Originally, it was painted over, but they just painted the lines of the graffiti. So all you saw was the same graffiti, just a different color. Then you said you were going to power wash it. That didn't work. Then after I contacted you again, I got a whole string of emails here. The graffiti was painted over in small patches with a contrasting gray paint, which made it look even worse. Then I guess there was a delay with the steamer, but then using the steamer, that didn't help. Then you finally painted over the entire concrete square, which is what I suggested doing in the first place when I first contacted you. It's since been tagged again, And these tags appear to me to be gang tags. I didn't think we had any gangs in Santee. So, and I don't want them getting a foothold in here. I know Ron Hall has asked the sheriff for increased patrols in the area, which is good. I don't know if you guys know that there's graffiti-proof paints and sealers out there that you can buy. And maybe you should paint that with that and solve the problem. My concern is, I don't know what's going on. Is this a low priority? Is it be